Broadcasting live from the basement of a Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Running from the pain in my heart. Into the arms of another, and for a while she made me feel alright. But in a crazy blunder, your love took me back under. Now I'm tied to those shackles and chains. Said don't cry for me, stars. I love you and I want you, and you'll always draw me near. I'm just running from the pain in my heart. I'm just running from the pain in my heart. Unwind, and now I'm right back from where it began. How old will I be when you finally set me free, and the sun shines on my heart again? Said don't cry for me, sweet Annalie. Keeper of my stars. I love you and I want you, and you'll always draw me I'm just running from the pain in my heart. I'm just running from the pain in my heart. I'm just running from the pain in my heart.
Come on out, 1965, them boys were called upon. Some fist fighting cowboys in them jungles of Vietnam. But I'm an airborne man, baby. Drop me anywhere you please. Yeah, I'm one mean motherfucker. Don't you never double cross me. 19 years old, doing the bidding for Uncle Sam. Desert boots strapped on my feet, machine gun in my head. I'm an airborne man, baby. Drop me anywhere you please. Y'all, I'm one mean motherfucker. Don't you never double cross me. Come on now. Strapped across my vest, 800 more, and I'm gonna pluck one in your chest. I'm an airborne man, baby. Drop me anywhere you please. Y'all, I'm one mean motherfucker. Don't you never double cross me. Oh, 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 Don't you never. I'm a mean motherfucker, so don't you never double cross me.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Hey, everybody, there he is. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Smoke Pit. It is me, Radar. We'll have no TZ tonight. She had to cancel last minute. Had some personal stuff going on, so that's cool. Hey man, I can fly solo for about an hour and then we'll wrap it up. So, but hey, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Got Heath in the chats. Sports Bar, what's up, buddy? What's up, Coach? How you doing? Phil's in the chats. What's going on, guys? Thanks for being here tonight. Just got 133 watching, so if you're watching and you want to join in the chat, hook it up, man. So I frequently tie my life into this show. Right? I think we all do, in a way. All of the hosts, I think we kind of do that. The stuff that we love, we enjoy, the things that are going positive in our lives, things that are going negative in our lives, things that are just happening in our lives. We bring that to the show. Some of the other hosts are a little more rigid with, obviously like the Sports Bar does their sports stuff, and Sergeant's Time, they do a lot of the Army stuff, and they bring their personal experiences and their personal know-how and everything to these shows. And so on that note, I was going to go through some of the stuff that old Radar's been going through last several years, if I'm honest. And I think a lot of veterans go through the same thing, so I wanted to bring it up on the show tonight, and that is the VA claims process. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, VA claims process. What a wonderful time. I'm guessing that most of you, if you are out, have some point went through the VA claims process. Whether it was for a service-connected disability, or whether it was for some healthcare stuff, or prescriptions, or whatever. And so I wanted to talk about that a little bit tonight. Kind of what I've been going through have been my experience with the VA. I want to preface this whole conversation with, this has been my experience with the Department of Veterans Affairs, Radar's experience. Everyone's experience with the VA will differ, right? Depending on your personal circumstances, your professional circumstances, your location. Some VAs are better than others. I think, and we've talked about this on the show before, I think that the more rural you are, the better experience you have with the VA. I think when you get into some of the larger Chicago, Dallas, New York, the bigger cities have problems with just understaff. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to get into the VA facilities when there's 1 million people in line ahead of you. And so, what I wanted to talk about tonight was just kind of some of that stuff, and then the claims process kind of generally as a whole. I am not a VSR. I'm not a VSO. I'm not a Raider. I'm just some dude who has done this way too much. In my past life, I was a sort of a counselor for veterans when we went through this stuff, but I did not take the classes. I did not take VSO classes. I'm not accredited. I'm none of the things. So start up with those prefaces. Now, a little backstory on myself. I was wounded in 2008 in Iraq. Went through the medical retirement process, and I was retired finally. I was between Oh, the WTB and the CBWTU, I spent from 2009 when we got back from Iraq until about 2013. August 2013, I was finally medically retired from the Army. So in that time period, I had several surgeries. I had just all kinds of stuff. All the stuff that's kind of required after injuries that you have to do. And some of it mental health evaluation, some of it was different surgeries, recoveries, physical therapy, all that stuff. And it took 4 years. That was a 4-year process from the time of me getting home in 2009 until finally getting retired in 2013. So that is quite the experience. In that time, when I first got out, when I first got retired, I went through a combined rating schedule with the Army and the Department of Veterans Affairs. So what happened with me, this is my process, this is what Radar went through, is I had to go, I was on what was called CBWTU, Community-Based Warrior Transition Unit, right? This had different names over the years. That's what it was when I was there. Basically, they were like, you have long-term surgeries, you have lots of this going to happen. We're going to send you home. We're sending you your home record. And I had my surgeries. A lot of my surgeries happened here at home. Why are the chats weird? Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's really, I don't know. I hope it's not that weird. Anyway, I had to go between here and Fort Carson, Colorado, to do stuff. Once a quarter, I had to go to Fort Carson and check in, basically. And that was where my unit was attached to, my medical unit. Okay. So when I finally was doing, getting released from active duty, and retired, essentially. I did get retired. I'm medically retired. I would go to Carson and they would do all my basically CMP exams, for lack of a better term. They're called soldier recovery units now. Oh, okay. Yeah, same thing. Sounds, like I said, they've had several different names over the years. But yeah, same kind of situation. I was at Fort Gordon for about 6-7 months, going through that process down there, and then got sent to this. Anyway, so I would go. Went to the combined one. It was combined when I did it, so I had to have like a CMP exam, with the Army, and then I would go across the hallway and have the exact same exam with the VA person. But so that worked out great. So when the day I retired, the first of the next month, I was getting my VA check. I was getting my pension from the Army. I was getting my check from the VA. Everything was good to go, right? And so what my process was a little bit different than others in that steam, right? And this was 2013, 2012, 13. It says 13 when I finally got out. 12 when I was going through a lot of process. And when I was going through, they're like, hey, Sergeant, you should be rated for this, and this. You're going to be probably between 90 and 100%. Cool. That's awesome. They dropped my packet, say, here you go, Sergeant, here's your shit. I looked at my packet, and it was 60% was my combined rating. That was from the Army and from the VA. So I was like, that's not what we discussed. That's not what we talked about. Why is this different? And basically I was told, hey, fucking take it or leave it. If you want, you can appeal all this stuff, but you're probably going to get 0. So you can take your fucking 60% or you can get fucking nothing and get out. Given those options, you take the 60% and you fucking walk, right? Mosey on down the road. This was in 2013. In 2021, 2022, 9 years later, that's when I got that job with the county working with veterans. And one of the first things we did was sit down with the VSO and go through all of your shit. And he's like, dude, you're fucking way underrated. You're only at 50% for PTSD. You're only at fucking 10% for your knee that had 6 surgeries on. You're fucking way low. Right? So we get on this push then to get reevaluated for things. There were some secondary conditions that I knew I had, but I didn't know it was compensated. One, I didn't know you could go back and reapply for these things, right? That's first. First thing I want to say is if you are rated for a condition and it causes another condition, those are called secondary conditions. So my knee. I had lots of problems with my knee since I got hurt. Okay. That's with your gait. It can fuck up your hip and back, right? My back is terrible. My hip is terrible, right? I can claim that. So if you have these kind of problems, this is where you need to get a hold of a professional. Don't take fucking Radar's word for it. Sit down with a professional. Okay. You know, other things, migraines. I had fucking all these things that I had problems with that didn't get rated correctly or got 0% for or whatever. Going and getting these things reset. So, it's taken a long time. It's taken almost 3 years since I started this process of going back through and getting reevaluated, going to CMP exams, sitting down with VSO, sitting down with fucking just about anybody who can help with that process. Okay? Still only at 92%. You know what I mean? So this is a process, but I don't think everybody should be 100%. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying if you serve in the fucking military that you should get out and get 100% for the rest of your life. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is there are people in this world, veterans in our community, who are underrated or not rated at all. And if that's a thing, I encourage you to get a hold of a VSO in your area, sit down, have a chat, bring your DD-214 in, sit down with those people and say, hey, most VSOs, whether they work for the VFW, Disabled American Veterans, the Marine Corps League, the Legion, there's so many of them anymore. Like the Purple Heart Foundation, there's a lot, and the county in South Dakota, the counties have VSOs. Every county has a VSO. You should sit down with a VSO, a trained, accredited VSO. Look at all of your stuff and say, hey, am I underrated for my back? Am I underrated for my whatever? Right? Go through all of those things. Sit down with somebody. Look at your rating. Look at the schedule. Be informed about that kind of stuff. Okay. There are some VA ratings that are very cut and dry. Okay. Hypertension is one. If your blood pressure is between this number and this number, you're 10%. This number and this number, you're at 20%. This number and this number, so on, so forth, right? And then there are ones that are more subjective, you know, or ones that are harder to prove, easier to prove, right? If you have sleep apnea, okay, and it's service connected and you were issued a CPAP machine, it's 50%. That's in the 38 CFR. It's exactly what it says. Okay. If you have X amount of migraines a week or per month or per whatever, you're rated at 30%, 50%, 70%. If you have hemorrhoids, if you have erectile dysfunction, if you have sciatica, if you have whatever, all these things have ratings, right? If you are a global war on terrorism veteran or a post 9/11 veteran, and you deployed downrange and you were exposed to burn pits, there's the PACT Act, which has certain things in there that will help you get, one, seen, and two, there's certain things in there that if you were exposed to burn pits and now you have lung cancer, or now you have asthma, or now you have these things, the VA will compensate you for those things, right? Which they should. The VA broke you, or the Army broke you, the VA should pay you. Okay? If you rent a car, you damage that car, you have to pay to get it fixed. Period. Right? I have hemorrhoids. They're 53, 31, 21, and 18 years old now. If your hemorrhoids are bad enough, you can get 20%. That's right. Anyway, ask me how I know. Anyway, but if you have these issues, like, you should go. Everyone jokes about going to MEPS, right? Everyone jokes about going to MEPS. The fucking dude looks at your butthole. Every other fucking thing about you. You do the fucking stupid duck walk. You do all the fucking dumb shit, right? What they're doing in those physicals is making sure that you are 100% fit, ready for service. Okay? That means you are pristine. You are not broken. Okay? And then you go in the Army, and then you get broken. And when you get out of the Army, now you're broken. The Army should pay to fix you. Right? Even if you go to the VA, we'll go back to, say, you're a paratrooper, right? Back's fucked, okay? Knees are fucked, backs are fucked, whatever, right? Go in there. Even if they give you a 10% rating or a 0% rating. Say they give you 0% for your back, 0% for your knee, 0% for hypertension, 0% for sleep apnea, 0% for hearing loss. Hearing loss is a big one. Hearing loss is a big one, okay? Commonly for hearing loss is 0%, right? But the VA will treat you for your hearing loss, right? So you go to the VA and you get these bad boys. You get some hearing aids. And that will help your life immensely. You know what I mean? You don't have to go to the VA. I encourage you to go to the VA, but I also encourage you not going to the VA thinking you're going to make $1 million a year. That's not the fucking point of it. The point of it is to get treated and fixed for the problems that you have that stem from service. Right? If you did anything in the military, if you drove truck, if you were around artillery, if you were around heavy equipment, if you were around gunshots, if you were around jets or helicopters or fucking tugs or tanks or name it, they all make noise. And everyone knows our earplugs sucked, and half the time you didn't fucking wear earplugs. Let's be honest. Half the time you couldn't or didn't wear earplugs. Right? Now, you can't hear shit because you were around fucking machine gun fire for 5 years. Or mortars. Or tanks. Or fucking MLRS. Or fucking whatever. Right? Now you can't hear. And that's understandable. It's not normal for a 25 to 30-year-old man to not be able to hear shit. So you go to the VA, tell them you can't fucking hear shit, show them your fucking DD-214. Oh shit, you were a 13 Bravo. Yeah. You deployed to Iraq and you got fucking whatever. Yeah. Now you can't hear shit? Nope. Okay. Yeah, here you go. Here's some hearing aids. Here's a hearing test. Here's whatever. Here's the stuff to make you better. You don't get any money for it, but you get treated for it. You get help for it. If you have high blood pressure and, you know, it's this level, well, you get 0%. But we'll give you medication. We'll give you free medicine for your high blood pressure. So that way you don't die of a stroke. You know, even if it's 0%, these things are helpful to you. Right? If you want to fight for years and years and years and years to try to get compensation from the VA, you're more than welcome to. Get with a VSO. They will put in your claims. They will do everything they can to help you, but don't get mad when you don't get 100%. Because not everyone's 100% disabled. Period. Here's not. You know, you can say all the things you want and think that the Army should pay you every fucking penny, that you should get like 10 grand a fucking month or some shit like that, right? And you fucking watch all the YouTube videos and pay for all the fucking shit, and all of a sudden you're still only at 90% or 80% or 70% or 60%. The VA, rightfully so, has a lot of people that try to get 100%. And then they don't get it. And they get mad and they lie or whatever. It's not the way to do it. If you have problems, put them in. 100% put them in. If you have a knee problem, a back problem, a hearing problem, neck problem, sciatic problem, fucking cancer or some shit, absolutely go to the VA and get treatment for it. 100%. But don't anticipate getting, even if you get 100%, even if you are 100% disabled, it's like $3,500 a month. depending on how many kids you have and how many wives you have or some shit like that, right? Your dependents, your wife, kids, if you have parents, you take care of whatever. There's all kinds of rules for it. But even like, dude, I got like 8 kids, right? I think I can only claim 7 of them, right? But of my married with 7 kids at 100%, can only get like $5,400 or something like that. That's not life. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not like you can fucking retire off it. You know what I mean? You still got to pay bills. You still got to pay for your kids. You still got to fucking do shit. I wouldn't give it up. I don't fucking, you know what I mean? You're probably not going to get 100%. Unless you're actually, if you are disabled enough to get 100%, then you'll probably get it. But you'll know. I don't know. You gotta be realistic about what's happening in your life. And I encourage you to seek the help and the treatment that you're entitled to. As you go through the processes of all of this stuff, Tony said I just did 2 CMP appointments last week. Yeah, CMP appointments suck, man. I don't know. It depends on what they're for. But I think they're very intrusive, but I understand why they do them. So, hold on. My son's messaging me. God, I'm a bad parent. I'm a bad host. Anyway. When we fight with, I don't want to say fight with the VA. It shouldn't be a fight. If you find it to be a fight, then you need to, I'm not going to say reevaluate your situation, but kind of. Like, you have to manage your expectations, right? But you also have to kind of be prepared. Chances are, if you've been out for a while, okay, say you've been out for anything longer than about a year or 2, it's going to be a fight unless you have some real concrete evidence in your service treatment record that says, hey, SAR and Radar got in this accident and he broke his leg and he did this on this date while he was active duty. You know what I mean? You needed to say those kind of things in order to get it direct service connected. Okay? There's all different kinds of ways to get things service connected. There's presumptive conditions, which are, we talked about the PACT Act earlier. The PACT Act outlines certain conditions that say, okay, if you served in this theater at this time and you have this problem, it's considered presumptive. If you served in Iraq at this time and you develop lung cancer, then it's presumptive and the VA will treat it. But you can't just go in there. Part of it is, and there's a balance between getting old and having it be service connected, right? Back, okay? If you were a paratrooper or something, you were a fucking grunt, and you're out humping shit around, and your back fucking hurt, and you went to the aid station, you went to everybody, you went to fucking medical, and you got light duty for your back, or you got fucking profile for your back, or whatever. And you got all these evidence in your file that says, oh, I have a bad back. And you're a year or 2 out, that might be enough. But if you don't have that, you can't, it's been 15, 20 years since you've been out of the service. How does the VA know if you hurt your back fucking picking your kid up or jumping out of planes? You know what I mean? You have to have a current diagnosis of whatever it is. You can't just be like, oh, my back hurts and I don't get money. No, you have to, I have a degenerative disc disease, or I have a lumbar strain, or I have a whatever. James just said, I have, be honest, the Army messed me up, but you got to take care of yourself. My sick call never took notes. Ribs broken, shoulder, urgent care on post, wrote most of it, if not all my notes, and helped me. Yeah. Ain't the weather. No, dude, we don't talk about the weather here unless it fucking sucks. It might be snowing. I don't know. It's snowing where I live, but it's probably not where you live. Anyway, BDD helped out amazingly too. Who's BDD? I don't know. Put in what is BDD, James? Anyway, but there's all like mental health is a big one. Mental health is a big one. You know, we have a lot of guys that are taking matters into their own hands. Like, you know, if you're having mental health crisis, go get fucking seen by the VA. Get help. Get the help you need. Call a veteran. Call a friend. Call whatever. You know what I mean? But all these things, like, these are all things that you can do to make your life better. So do that stuff, man. You know, don't be afraid to use the VA system. Don't be afraid to go to a VSO. Almost every VSO that I know is a veteran too. Right? So you go to that dude and be like, "Hey man, I was in Kuwait and we worked a port and I hurt my back on this day. Look, here's my medical record. It shows me on this day that I have this problem." You know what I mean? Go get help for it. Even if nothing else, if they fucking, you know, if you need back surgery, they give you the surgery. If you need help, benefits, delivery at discharge. Okay, yeah. See, and like my son just got out in June of last year. No, June, July? Yeah, June, July of last year. I didn't have shit for that when he got out. They basically said, bye, see ya. Bye, see ya, kid. Of course, he had like 90-some days of fucking terminal leave too, but his unit sucked. I was not a fan of his command while he was in. And the shit that they pulled, like, hey, when you got some dude who's fucking 2 weeks from getting out and you're trying to put him on a fucking mission when he's trying to get his fucking shit packed so he can come home from Germany, he's trying to fucking get his plane ticket set and trying to get his fucking, all his shit done. Nah, fuck that, dude. I'm so fucking mad. There's absolutely no reason that a fucking specialist getting out after fucking 4 years has 90 days of fucking terminal leave. 93 days of terminal leave. It's fucking ridiculous. That was one of the most fucked up units I ever fucking heard of in my life. Austin said, VSOs help out so much. They will in most cases do what they can to say the right things and get you close to or the percentage you want. Yeah, absolutely. And hold on a second on that, Austin. I'm going to stop you on that. Because sometimes the percentage you want isn't the percentage you rate. If that makes sense. Like, just about everybody thinks they should get 100% for PTSD, right? I know of some dudes who got 100% for PTSD. They don't leave their fucking house, man. You know what I mean? You have to be so, I'm not going to say fucked up, but kind of. You have to be, in order to be that, have anxiety disorder that bad or post-traumatic stress disorder that bad, to get 100% for PTSD or for anxiety disorder or for mental health, you basically have to like live in your house, live alone in your house, and fucking have conversations with your cat and never fucking leave. You have to be that fucking out there to get that kind of compensation from the Department of Veterans Affairs, which is honestly true. Yeah, you have to be nearly incapable of doing anything, and that's the truth of the matter. Like, do I think you should get 50 or 70%? Probably. But a good VSO will help you write your statements correctly, will inform you. And like, if you have a problem, we'll go to mental health. Okay. If you Google VA disability mental health, it will tell you all of the criteria to get 100% or 70% or 50% or 30%. Right? So when you get that, and you look at it and it says, oh, okay, I need this and this and this and this. I'm not 100%. I'm not like the dude who just like fucking lives in his basement, grows weed, and fucking talks to his cat and never fucking leaves. If you're not that dude, you're not going to get 100%, which is fine. Same with like, okay, my knee replacement. I got 30% for having a knee replacement. And I got 20% for limited flexion because my knee only bends so far now, which is pretty typical with having a fucking knee replacement, right? In order to get like 60%, you have to have it to where you can't fucking walk. I can still walk, not getting 60%. Which is understandable. I understand that. If you can't walk, you should get more money. That's just the way it works, right? I had to go to 4 different basements, and it was mentioned once at my SFL tap, my mentor who knew about it and pointed me in the right direction because he knew what I went through. Yeah. And that's cool. Like, and that's good that you got that mentorship. And most VSOs, like I said, there are 100% companies that will charge you to do these things. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Okay. Now, VSOs, every VSO that I've met several of them now, have all been really good dudes and girls, dudes and women. I met one chick. There's one chick. She was cool as fuck. But they all have the best intentions, right? Some are more educated than others, which is perfectly fine. That's the fucking way of it. Same with VSRs. VSRs are your raters, right? And you have senior raters and service raters and everything, right? Some of them are more educated than others too. But a good VSO will teach you how to put in what's called a fully developed claim, where you have your medical evidence, and if you have any sort of like civilian DBQ, or if you have an LOD, or how to do a buddy statement, or how to do a lay statement, or there's all different kinds of stuff that you can turn in for that. So, if you are trying to get sleep apnea, for example, and get it service connected, you're like, dude, my fucking, my wife claims I snored when I was fucking da-da-da-da-da. My roommate while I was there said I couldn't fucking breathe, and da-da-da-da, this, that, and the other. You get those statements, you turn them in, right? Some of them have medical evidence that they can turn in with it. Oh, you got this problem, and, here's this medical evidence that says, this is tied to this, that, oh, your hypertension is tied to burn pits or Agent Orange or fucking whatever. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of shit like that out there. And a good VSO will have that stuff and be able to submit it with your claim. And that will help your claim hopefully get done faster. And 2, hopefully get the results you want. Like Austin was saying earlier, to get the percentage you want. But sometimes percentage you want and what you earn are 2 different things. And a good VSO too will tell you, hey, dude, you don't get, I know you want 100% for PTSD, but you're really 70, which is still a lot. But not everybody's 100% disabled. And I don't want to be a dick about it. I'm not trying to be shitty about it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you're fucking malingering, and you're not doing that. But sometimes you have to kind of admit where you're at. And it's fine to be there. It's fine. Because even if you get rated at 30% and you get $750 a month or whatever, that's fucking better than nothing. That's a truck payment. You know what I mean? You're not going to get rich. None of us, if you join the military to get rich, you are dumb. We all saw that. We all saw how we don't get rich in the fucking military. Same thing now. If you think you're going to try to scam the VA and get a fuck ton of money from the VA and be rich about it, that's not going to happen either. It's just not. But I encourage you to go to the VA, get the treatment that you need. And like I said, even if you get a 0% rating, or get the treatment and the help that you and your body needs to be healthy and whole again, hey, that's better than nothing. And, there's so many stories. So many stories of dudes who fucking horror stories of the VA. Dudes go there and say, I'm having mental health problems, and they get fucking locked up. And you got to wear grippy socks. And you got to fucking, you got to eat fucking, you don't have any shoelaces, and you got to fucking eat oatmeal with the fucking fork and shit. Or whatever. I know I've heard some fucking horror stories about the fucking mental health facilities. But hey, you know what? The VA, the VA will help you, dude. If you need to go to treatment, the VA has treatment centers. If you have alcohol or drug addiction, the VA will put you through treatment and then help you get back on your feet. They have halfway houses, they have all kinds of shit. The VA has so many opportunities for people. If you need the help, all you gotta do is ask them for it. It's a vacation, bro. Fucking probably. It's probably better than getting kicked in the nuts. You know what, dude? Alicia, sorry for calling you dude. But you know what? It might be a vacation for me. I got a fuck ton of kids, man. I could probably go for a fucking week off. It fucking Fort Grippy sock. They also like to do reevaluations, and they sometimes catch people and they lower the rate. They do. That is a thing. That is a thing. And that's more for that's more. I'm not gonna say. The only person that I know directly that got reevaluated. I know one person directly that got reevaluated. Okay, and they had something with their back. I want to say they had like 30% for their back. Well, one of the things is you can't do a job that aggravates your disability. Okay? So, bro had 30% for his back and a bunch of other shit too. Da 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 da. Well, the VA found out that he was doing like construction work or concrete work or some other fucking shit that's really, really, really bad for your back. Well, if your back's that fucked, dude, where you're getting paid 30% for your back, you can't do concrete work. Fucking figure it out. You know what I mean? So they went back and they dropped his back, and they dropped something else. And they did a bunch of other shit too. But anyway, yeah. That's the only dude that I know. There's a couple other things too that they do. So you can get, I don't remember the term for it now, but it's like 100% for unemployability. And if you get unemployability, there's different. You have to get like, I think you have to have like one thing over 60% and a total rating over like 80 or some shit, and they bump you to 100. But if you have unemployability, you can't have a job. Right? Your argument is I'm unemployable because of my VA disabilities. Okay. Mental health's a big one for this. People will have like a 70% for mental health. They'll say, well, I can't work with the public because I can't be around fucking people because I will fucking murder them, which I understand. So they will do that, right? And they'll apply for unemployability, and then they'll go get a job. Well, when you get a fucking job, it gets reported to the fucking IRS, right? Well, IRS and the fucking VA talk sometimes, and they'll figure out, how's this motherfucker getting all this money and working for the fucking whatever you work for. You just told us you can't work. We're giving you extra money because you can't work. Well, motherfucker, you lied to us, so we're taking all your money. Makes sense. Alicia, you're right. You can refuse 100%. You can refuse anything. You can refuse anything that the VA wants to give you. If they say, oh well, go back to my last thing. Okay, I just had a CMP exam and got figured out for my knee after a knee replacement. They gave me 30% for my knee replacement, and they gave me 20% for range of motion. Okay, I could turn down that range of motion if I wanted, or you can turn, because I didn't ask for that. They just gave it to me. They said, well, you have range of motion problems, so here's your fucking shit. Whatever. Total and permanent. Okay, so if you're PNT, okay, there are certain disabilities they call fixed, right? When you have something that's fixed, if you have enough of them that are fixed, that they will give you permanent total disability, they will not reevaluate those claims if they are fixed. Okay, unless you directly ask to be reevaluated. So my knee previously was fixed at 10%. Okay, now I purposely asked to be reevaluated for my left knee because I had a knee replacement, because I had range of motion issues, to get it an increase. But the VA could not go back after that unless I asked them to do it. Now, people say this, and I don't know if it's true. It's never happened to me. I don't know. But they say if you go and get asked to get a reevaluation for anything, then they can reevaluate everything. And I don't know the truth on that because it's never happened to me or anybody that I know directly. That's just a story. If you get on Reddit and they'll say you can do it, the VA can do it. From what I understand, the VA can do just about whatever they fucking want to do, right? But even if you're permanent total disabled, right? Now, if you're 100% PNT, in a lot of states, there's things you get like a free hunt and fishing license. You get like a property tax relief. You get college tuition at state schools. Every state's different. Every state has different rules for 100% P&T. Some states you get free license plates or a free driver's license, or you get fucking da-da-da-da, all kinds of stuff, right? Some states don't get fucking nothing. It just depends on the state, depends on where you live, and it depends on their rules for 100% P&T. Okay? But not to make this political, but right now in the government, they're trying very hard to cut spending, right? One of the biggest spending things in the government is the Department of Veterans Affairs, right? Discretionary spending. I mean, we won't talk about the DOD because that's fucking crazy. But Medicaid and the VA are big hunks of money that get sent out. So one could assume, one could make that small jump to say that it would not take very much for them to go through looking for fraud, waste, and abuse in the VA system or in the disability system. Okay. There's 3 parts of the VA. There's VA medical, there's benefits, there's the VHA, Veterans Health Administration, VBA, Veterans Benefits Administration, and cemeteries. Okay. So cemeteries you really can't do a whole lot with. But the VHA and VBA are 2 that they could definitely make chunks out of. And it would not surprise me to see in the future them go through and start looking at some of those cases to be like, why is this dude fucking getting this? Why is this dude getting this? Why, maybe having to be reevaluated for certain things. I don't know. I don't know the legalities of it. There's a lot of things happening in that, and I don't want to get in the weeds of what might happen. I thought the guy evaluating my dad was going to shit his pants when he looked at his file. Yeah. Some of those shits, dude, like there's like, some people are fucked up. There are some dudes who are fucked up, but like never went to medical and like never went to do anything. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, what the fuck do they take care of? Because they are fucked. And I think that's the duality of this whole thing. You have some people who never go to sick call, never get fucking light limited duty, never fucking do anything. And then fucking 2 years after they get out, you find out they're the most fucked up person. They're the ones who need the most help. And then you have the guys who go to fucking sick call and everything fucking boom, boom, boom. They're like nonstop sick. You know what I mean? They're fucking always. And those are the people that get fucking 100% for some reason. You know what I mean? Crazy how that shit works. But I don't know. I think that there's a stigma sometimes about going to the VA and getting help. I think sometimes there's a stigma around that, and I think that if you need the help, you should go there. If you think that you deserve compensation, do a little bit of cursory searching on the internet and see kind of where you're at. If you need, the book is the 38 CFR. That is the manual that has all of the ratings and rating schedules and all the things you can be rated for. Just all you got to do is Google back pain, VA disability, and it'll explain it. Or leg pain, or neck pain, or headaches, or hypertension, or IBS, or hemorrhoids, or whatever. Look at that stuff. Look that stuff up. If you have a medical problem that you believe is service-connected, sit down with the VSO, and they will tell you, yeah, many older vets didn't know. Absolutely. Yeah, many and many older vets were like, why would you do that? Why would you go to the VA for help? The VA fucking sometimes the VA sucks. But the VA has actively been trying to get better over the last several years. Is the VA perfect? No. No. The VA is far from perfect. And if you go to a VSO and you get not the response that you wanted, or you're having problems, then absolutely go to one of the pay sites. I found their grading sheets online before. Yeah, and you can, and it's not like none of their stuff is a secret. If you want, you can get the grading sheet you're talking about is called a Disability Benefits Questionnaire, or DBQ. And if you want, Alicia, this is a really good point, a good segue into this. Okay, if you go to what's called a CMP exam, what your CMP examiner is going to do is print out that DBQ, right? That disability benefits questionnaire, and they're going to ask the questions that are on it. Okay, you can print out that same disability benefits questionnaire, take it to your local doctor, have them fill it out, and then you submit that with your packet. Especially if you haven't been being treated by the VA. If you've been being treated by a civilian doctor or a personal doctor, you can print out that DBQ, take that to them, and they'll ask you the questions, fill it out, sign it, and then you can submit that with your claim. And that will get you closer. That will get you medical evidence to your thing. And there are key phrases and stuff in there that, it would be like, it is at least as likely as not that this is happening. Okay. But if nothing else, educate yourself, print out that grading sheet, that disability benefits questionnaire, DBQ, and look at it and say, okay, well, hey, do I have painful motion in this? Does it hurt when I do this? Can I move my leg more than this percentage? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do whatever? And that will kind of show you where approximately you're going to be on your thing, on your claim. Oh, that's awesome. I'm not happy that your dad's passed, but I'm glad that saved him for a while and you guys spent more time with him. I'm sorry that you lost your father. I'm sorry about that. But I'm happy that you guys spent more time with him. And that's the trick to all this. I think that's the overwhelming thing for me. And this is a radar thing, okay? There are things in my life that I cannot do with my kids because of my service-connected disabilities, right? I can't walk that great. So I can't do a lot of I struggle on like walking on uneven ground, right? So with my hip and my back being as bad as it is, I can't walk so it's hard for me to go camping. It's hard for me to take my kids fishing because I can't like walk on the rocks to get down on the water. You know what I mean? Shit like that. There's so many, and there's way more than that I can't some days get out of my fucking recliner because my back hurts so bad, right? My kids, I'm 44 years old. I shouldn't have the problems of a 74-year-old, right? The military caused these problems, so the military should compensate me for those. That's the way I look at it. And I feel like that's the way most people should look at it. If the Army broke you, the Army should pay for you. All right. Get a scooter. I wish a scooter would go over those fucking big-ass river rocks they put out. Like, the fucking lake we go to has those big fucking, like, they're, like, bigger than a car rocks, and they're all fucking along the bank. I wish I could fucking take a scooter or some shit down there, but I can't. And I can't walk down them. Oh, your hip? Dang, that'd be awesome. I didn't get my hip replaced. I wonder if that helped. No, but I mean, just that little scooter for some of the stuff would be great. But yeah. Anyway, if the Army broke you, the Army should pay to fix you. If you broke something from the Army, they're gonna make you fucking. If you left the Army with all your gear, they're gonna make you pay to replace it, right? Make them pay to fix you. Yeah, the Army rented us and now we're damaged goods, right? Some more than others. Admittedly, some people are more fucked up than others. I will grant. And there are people who are way more fucked up than me. I know that. I remember when I first got hurt, I went to Fort Gordon, Georgia. Okay. And I was there for 7 months-ish in the Warrior Transition Battalion there at Fort Gordon. And what they did, my roommate there, oh, not my roommate, my roommate there, he was on a 50 cal, and his truck took an RPG, and all that shrapnel hit his gunner shield and shit. The RPG hit his gunner shield, fucking hit him, right? Well, like where his IBA was, all that's fine, but the inside of his arms were all fucking, because he was on the gun, all the inside of his arms and shit, his fucking face, his neck was all fucked up. So he couldn't use his hands to like do anything, so he had to basically, the Army paid him to play Xbox all day. He just played Xbox in his fucking room, and I took him to his appointments. Dude's fucked up. He couldn't make that. He couldn't to open a fucking can, that motion. He couldn't do that. He'd come in, he'd hold his fucking beer like this, and he'd like, dude, can you hold my beer for me? I open his fucking beer, and I'd help him out. He's way more fucked up than I am. promise. I hope he has 100%. Because that dude was awesome. That dude was awesome, and he got fucked up. So I hope he's getting taken care of. I sincerely hope it. But Phil had a hip replacement when they were 24? Holy shit. Dude, that sucks. That fucking sucks, dude. I had a kid, I bought new shoes last week. Because my knee. And I'm finally back to work full time and shit. And I was looking at new shoes, and this kid, I still got kind of a limp and shit, and I was trying on shoes, and he's like, "What are you looking for shoes for?" Da da da. I'm like, "Oh, I'm a knee replacement." Dude was like, probably mid-20s, and he was like, "Yeah, I was in a really bad car wreck. He had both his hips replaced, and he has like a bunch of pins in one of his legs and shit." I was like, "Fuck, dude, that sucks." Dude was like 22. I felt so bad for him. 22, 24. I felt really bad for that dude. Anyway, I digress. But yeah. That's what I mean. Like, fucking, the army broke you, pay to get it fixed. 36 on dialysis? Dude, that sucks. You are, Phil? I hope the Marine Corps is paying you, son. Fuck, dude. I should probably be on dialysis. Actually, I've been fucking, dude, I piss like 25 times a day. It sucks. Maybe I need to be on dialysis. Is that a dialysis thing? I don't know. Maybe it's the opposite. Dislocated my hip replacement. My leg was dangling out of socket. Oh, that sucks. I don't want to fuck. Hope you're better now, Alicia. That sounds like it's shitty. That sounds shitty, dude. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I think as we go through this shit, like, we need to help each other out. That's why I'm here. Okay, I do this show. I take a couple hours a week out of my life, out of my me and my kids, and to help out. I know sometimes we bitch about fucking the army. Sometimes we bitch about air travel or work or whatever. This is a smoke pit, dude. We're just here to fucking bullshit and have a good time. Diabetes, maybe. I think they said I have diabetes. I don't fucking know. 39, can hardly walk because of my back and hips. Yeah. They shot me up with ketamine. Now I'm fine. Dude, ugh. Kidney failure is not fun, dude. You don't want to be on dialysis. Is that? But I think I'm on the opposite of dialysis. Dude, kidney failure sounds shitty. I don't fucking want to do any of that shit. I don't want. Ugh. Yeah, kidney failure sounds fucking gross, dude. I don't want any of that. Don't want to be on dialysis, but I do kind of want to figure out like why I piss nonstop. And it like, it's not very much. It's just like a little bit. It's probably just 'cause I'm old. I probably have prostate cancer or some shit. It's not when you can't pee very much. It always feels like you have to pee like a lot. And then you pee like 3 drips. You're like, oh, this is cool. That was awesome. Thanks for that. Anyway. No, dude, I don't want to be on dialysis. That sounds dumb. I mean, it sounds... We backtrack. 47 and still waiting for the depleted uranium to take it. Yeah. Type 2 makes you piss. Fuck. Is that the one where you're like, because I'm fat? Is that the fat one? Type 2? I don't know which one it is. Oh, waiting for the DU to take its toll? Yeah. It's got to take its toll at some point. Type 2 makes you piss. God damn it. I don't know. I'll fucking Google some shit. I'm not going to Google it right now. I'll look into it. Because I just had my fucking annual a couple days ago, and they were all bitching about my A1C or some shit. I don't even know what that means. I was like, make my fucking back quit hurting. Make my back and leg quit hurting. Without pills. I don't want to take a bunch of... They're like, well, we can give you... I don't want a fucking bunch of pills, dude. Make my back fucking shit quit hurting. From sugar. Fuck. Well, I drink diet, so there's no sugar in that, right? Isn't it sugar-free? No carbohydrates, no sugars, no added sugar. Yeah, dude, I'm fine. Can't be that. It's got to be something different. Anyway. Got bad rabno and fucked myself up. Oof, that sucks. That sucks, dude. Oh, anyway, speaking of that, I have to go to the bathroom. After we talk about it for like an hour and I gotta piss. Yeah, it sucks, dude. I'm really sorry to hear that. But yeah, I really think that, you know, if you have problems with whatever ails you, still fucks your blood sugar. Probably. I'm probably that actually, Alicia, like after everything that's gone on in those last couple weeks, it would not surprise me at all. Between pulmonary embolisms and fucking all kinds of shit, I probably am gonna die of diabetes now. Have my leg cut off. Finally get my knee replaced, and I gotta cut my legs off because they're all fucking. Isn't type 2 diabetes the one that makes your leg fall off or whatever, or makes it like get all fucking swollen and gross and turn black, and they gotta cut it off? Pretty sure that's the one. Great. So now my kidneys are gonna fail, and my leg's gonna fall off. God damn it. Oh. Aren't as lame as the Facebook dudes. Damn it. Yes, it is the one that makes your leg fall off. God damn it. I don't think it's. Well, now I need to see vet service. As we were starting this whole thing off, I'm like, because my main point of all this was after all the fucking shit I've been through and all the fucking this, that, and the other, I'm rated at 92%. So I need 30% more to get to 95 to around 200. And I just don't have it. I don't have it. I've been looking through my records and looking at it. I don't have it. So 90% is a just rating for me. I feel like 90% is a just rating for me. I've been through all the shit. I've done all the things. I've submitted all the things I can. So 90% is fine. But if my fucking diabetes is gonna, if I got, I don't know. My grandma had type 2 diabetes and had to have part of her foot removed. Bro, I do not want my foot cut off. Man. Oh no. Fuck. Oh shit. Missed the first portion of the show. Had a tornado alarms going off. Dude! Holly, are you alright? Well, I guess if you're texting me, you're probably going to get blown away in a tornado. I'm guessing. Show me your couch. What? No. What are you talking about? What? Your couch? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. This is you can see my bunker. That's long term. Oh, long term to get. Now, I want to Google it, but I don't want to take all show Googling like when my leg's going to fall off. Waiting for the big portion to come. Wait, what big portion? Yeah, Alicia wants to know where you're at, Holly. Like, where is tornadoes coming at? Where your tornadoes be? Tornado watch tonight. Where them tornado watches at? Oh, like the whole fucking Midwest. From like Texas to like the Great Lakes is like under tornado outbreaks. Dang. Western Kentucky has tornado warnings. Kentucky, Clarksville, Nashville. Yeah, dude, I hope you're okay. Central Indiana has severe weather, hail, flooding. Oh man, I hope everyone's okay. That's way scary to me. Like, I'm not scared of hurricanes. Well, first off, hold up. I live in like literally 30 miles from me is like, I don't remember the name of that point, but it's the furthest point from the ocean on North America you can be. It's crappy in Augusta. Oh, dude, that sucks. Augusta, you know what though? Augusta's kind of dirty. It probably needs washed off. I'm just kidding. I love fun. Actually, I had a ton of fun there in Georgia at Fort Gordon. I actually really like Fort Gordon. Anyway, back to the story. Hurricanes are like, hurricanes. People know for like a couple of days or a week that hurricanes come. You get the fuck out of there, right? tornadoes are like this. Boom. Hey, you got a tornado. Fucking sucks, dude. Bye. See ya. Like, what the fuck you supposed to do? Hide in your basement? Wait for it to blow by? Nah, that's going to suck. The rain isn't going to stop for 4 days. Nashville will flood again. Oh, no. I don't like that. I don't like when people lose shit. You know what I mean? I don't like when people like lose their houses or fucking, and that part of the country too, like through like the Carolinas and fucking Kentucky and Tennessee and all that. You guys are still recovering from that big ass hurricane and shit, right? That fucking made everything flood out. Dude, you guys can't catch a fucking break over there. That sucks. All of Appalachia has been kind of fucked. I feel badly. I hope they get it all fixed. I hope everyone's okay. Augusta, you know what though? Yes and no. There's parts of Augusta that were gross, and there are parts of that part of like Georgia that are so pretty. China owns most of downtown Nashville along the river. Yeah, okay, they can get fucking. I just don't like when people. Yeah, Helene. Yeah, you guys are all recovering from that shit still, right? That sucks. Especially like, I know like some of the worst flooding we've had out here and mudslides and shit was like after forest fires. And so you don't have that like the stuff to like bind the mountains together. So I know like a lot of stuff washed away in Helene. Like, so like it's a lot of like dirt and shit exposed. So it fucking just keeps eroding and washing away. That sucks. I hope everyone's okay. I know that they were struggling to get like basically campers into these people in some of those places that just, they didn't have anything. They were like living in a fucking tent and half their house was gone. And so they're struggling to get campers in there because the roads were all washed out and shit. Now there's more stuff coming. That sucks. That's like they need a fucking break. Just tell God to fucking chill out for 6 to 9 months. Fuck. Yeah, Eastern Kentucky's been hit repeatedly the last 6 to 9 months. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's kind of been almost a year, hasn't it? Because there was a bunch of flooding and shit before Helene, too, wasn't there? Wasn't there a bunch of fucking, like, tornadoes or fucking problems, like, a couple months before Helene? They were still cleaning up from some of that in places? Oh, that sucks. I do feel badly. Like, I'm here a million miles away, nice and safe, and, well, it's snowing, so I'm not warm, but, you know, I feel badly. I do feel badly for those people when they get in those ways. Because it sucks. It sucks for them. It does. And I feel bad. And I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation, and I don't know what I can do to help. There's a big flood 2 years ago that took out 6 counties in eastern Kentucky. Damn, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they put in some dams or some shit or what. Something for flood control. That just feels like, it just feels excessive. I don't know. I feel bad. I remember bitching about fucking my leg hurting. These people don't have anything. They don't have anything except for more flood damage. Well, you know, I don't know. My prayers go out to them. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot. It doesn't mean shit. Like that's not helping them fucking feed themselves, but I don't know. So it pisses me off about people sometimes when like they have I don't have the means to help somebody like that. I don't have the means to like spend $1 million and like fix shit. You know what I mean? But there are people in this world that have billions of dollars that can help out that situation, and they don't. They want that land, flying sonar, whatever, over. They know what's in the ground. Hashtag tinfoil. Maybe. I don't know. When they say shit like that, it makes me wonder, but I don't know. I think, well, because there's a lot of that area, there's a lot of that land that's national forest and all that stuff in Appalachia that they could just develop it if they wanted. If there was rare earth minerals there or some shit. I mean, I know there's coal, but fuck, there's coal everywhere. I mean, not everywhere. There's lots of places that has coal, and honestly, Yeah, humans are inherently shitty. You are 100% correct on that, Alicia. 100%. But okay, like coal, there's more coal in Wyoming than we would ever burn in real life, and the coal is cleaner and better, and in every way. The coal in Wyoming is hotter, cleaner, and cheaper to get out of the ground. So I don't know. Every flood strips another layer off. Yeah, I can see that, I guess. Yeah, but it takes that same shit and washes it downstream, so except for me, of course, I'm a damn national treasure. 100%. Absolutely you are, because you're part of this show. I appreciate it. Oh, all right. Well, I said I was going to be done around 7 my time. It's 10 after. Hold on. Because I don't have a co-host tonight. I need to find... I need to see our cut sheet and see if there's any stuff coming up. Any guests or anything coming up. I think I can say words about this. So, next week, next Tuesday, is Pop Culture Warriors like 200th show. 200th show. Okay. Now, as some of you know, some of you probably don't, I was the co-host on that show for about the first 100 episodes. So that has a big old spot in my old radar heart there. So if you are around next Tuesday, you should absolutely check out Pop Culture Warrior with CQ. There's going to be some cameos and some people. If you have never listened to that show or never been interested in that show because you're in pop culture, there's so many. CQ has some of the coolest guests that on there that we have some fun guests, right? Every show on the station has fun guests from time to time. CQ has some amazing guests. The guy who played the T Terminator, and he's in the latest Yellowstone 1923. He's the sheriff in that. Great dude was on. John Candy was on. We've had some really, really phenomenal guests on there that CQ finds and gets and has. It's such a great program on there, and you really should check out CQ's show. It's really cool. It's Pop Culture Warrior. It's on every Tuesday. It's the 200th show, CQ 75th, with all those vacations he takes. I have no room to talk, dude. I'm gone all the fucking time. Oh, Kenny's been dead tonight. Who was that we had on? Who's that dude we had on? He was a fat comedian. He died like right after we had him on. Oh, dude with the buck teeth. I don't fucking remember his name now. I don't remember the dude's name who was fucking Terminator too, but I was literally there when we interviewed him. Horrible with names though. I don't even remember. Louis Anderson. Yep, Louis Anderson we had on. That's right. That dude was cool. CQ's had some awesome guests. But yeah, that's his 2 other shows next week. I don't know if I'm gonna. He's like, if you want to record something, you can put. I'm like, I don't know how to record anything. I don't know what I want to record. I might pop on and do like a cameo or something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll pay for a couple of cameos from like real famous people or like not famous people at all. You know the cameo because you can get on Cameo and then get some weird fucking celebrity shout outs off Cameo. Get him some weird like Bollywood actors or some shit. But there's all different kinds of people on Cameo that you can get on there. Shooter McGavin's on there. That Duncan LaCroix, he's from Outlander, is on there. Dudes from Scrubs. There's just some cool actors. Jamie Farr from MASH is on there. Who else? Wayne Knight. He was on Seinfeld and Jurassic Park. The dude who had the shaving cream in Jurassic Park. He's on there. Michael Ian Black, the comedian. Tom Arnold. Should get him some cameo shout outs from some of these people. God, there's some pretty cool people on here actually. There are people like if I say their names, you'd never know them, but you see their face, like Richard Karn from Home Improvement. Like you don't know like the name, but you see the face. Like I know that dude. I should do that. I don't know. Do something fun for him. But yeah, it's gonna be a good speed. Robert Patrick, yes. And he was at Sturgis last year. I got to hang out with him for like a couple, like 20 minutes. I got to hang out with him. It was fucking dude. Robert Patrick, super cool. And he actually recognized me because I did the interview with him too with CQ, and I ran in. They do it's the Mayor's Ride in Sturgis, or it was in Deadwood. They finish in Deadwood. And or the Legends Ride. He was in the Legends Ride, not Mayor's Ride. And I was going to work, and I stopped at the gas station. He pulled up on his bike, and I was just topping off. And he pulled up and to the same pump, and he looked at me. He's like, "I know you," and I was like, "Yeah, I interviewed you for an Army radio show." He's like, "Oh shit, yeah, you're and he's like, "You're that radar dude, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he fucking bullshit. That was cool. Yeah, Al Borland for Tool Time. Yeah. But a lot of people don't know the name, but I mean, like, if you say the person, yeah. But yeah, no, he was cool. He was super cool, super nice. We bullshitted for, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And I had to take off, go to work. Dude was super cool. Like, so it's kind of cool when people, like, not only did he take the time out of his day to come on the show, but then cool enough to, like, bullshit with me for a few minutes. And remember who the fuck I was. Because, I mean, I'm basic white bitch. Basically, you know what I mean? I'm the basic white bitch of dudes. Short, fat, white, got kind of a scraggly beard. I could be mistaken for a lot of dudes. So it was really impressive to me that he was cool about that. Anyway, yeah. So next Tuesday, if you have a chance, you should absolutely check out CQ's show, Pop Culture Warrior. Have you seen the titles from American Chopper? Yeah. Several years ago. I've seen Paul Sr. a couple more times. This was in like when they were like real popular yet, when they still had their show going and shit. They had there's the bar / campground called the Buffalo Chip. We went out there, did like the meet and greet with them. They have a machine gun. Such a fucking white trash. They do machine gun shoots out there at the Buffalo Chip during the rally. And it's like $50 or whatever. You get to shoot like 100 rounds out of a saw or like 25 rounds out of a 50 cal or some shit. And you pay more money, get more bullets kind of deal. And I think I bought like 100 rounds for a saw, and they were out there. They were at this fucking machine gun shoot thing, and you got to shoot so much. It was cool. It was really fun, actually. That was like 2003, though, I think. That was the year I got out of the Marine Corps, I think. So it was 03. 03, 04. I don't remember, but they were still kind of in their prime. But Paul Sr. still comes out quite a bit. Paul Jr. I haven't seen in several years. Doesn't mean he doesn't come out, but I don't know. But yeah, the titles are super cool. They're actually super. I think that one of the worst things to happen to them was the show. I think that meeting them in person, they were super cool. And maybe they put on this like persona, to this public persona where they were super cool and, meet up, take pictures, whatever, Like I said, I was lucky enough to have a little more intimate time with them, not just to walk through a table, shake their hand, get a signature, but they were like actually some things that I did. Being a local to that makes it a little bit easier, back behind the scenes stuff. But No, it was they were super nice in real life. And I think that the show caused such a rift professionally within that family that it fucked them. But that's just my take on it. And I think being in that environment is super stressful because a lot of those dudes, they're from kind of a smaller town and they were all buddies, and you know what I mean. I think that kind of put a lot of stress unnecessarily on them and caused the whole thing to collapse, which sucks, and I feel badly for them. Yeah, I should let that do manufacture drama. They absolutely do. And I'm sure that there was some drama there before. Like I love my dad. Okay? I could never work with my dad. I could never work for my dad. Not in that type of environment. I just couldn't. Cuz my father and I would fight the way that Paul Sr., Paul Jr. fought on television. Now, we can do shit. We can work in the yard together. We can build a wall together. We can roof a garage together. We can do all kinds of things together. But to actually, if we were actually in a position like the Tuttles were in, my father and I would not. We would end up the same way. And especially when you have somebody filming all the drama and it gets rehashed and those fights get rehashed. Because sometimes when you get in a fight with somebody, a disagreement or an argument, it goes away and then you move on. But when it's on television and everyone is for the world to see and it gets brought up and then people ask questions like, man, you remember that fight you got into with your dad over that it just opens those wounds up again and just makes it tough. And I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in that situation, and I'm glad. I'm glad that from what I've seen is they kind of got out of that before it got too bad, and then they can be father and son again, and brothers and everything. So I think it worked out for the best in the end. Anyway, so yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna wrap things up. I really appreciate everyone being here. It's been such a fun night. I'm gonna revisit the Don't forget, if you have issues that the VA needs to help you with, go see the VA. Yeah, it is all BS. You're right, Alicia. There is a lot of fucking bullshit on that. I watch very little TV. I watch, with my job, I have to watch TV, but it's all sports. So it's fine. I so try to avoid the news, but it creeps into your life. And I don't know. I try to stay informed with the world because I believe that everyone should at least know what directly affects them. But I try to leave it off this show because I feel like this is not the time nor the place. But I also feel like I sometimes look around, and this is not just the last couple months. This has been the last since COVID. It's just like the whole world is like in this weird fucking spiral. It feels so weird. It almost feels like surreal. Some of the shit that's happened since the beginning of COVID, some of the shit that's happened in the world just seems so surreal. Like I don't know, it was like a TikTok or something that I saw the other day, and it was like, I just want to quit living through all these once in a lifetime events. It's the truth. It feels like there's another once in a lifetime fucking event every fucking 2 months. Whether it be Helene that we were just talking about, all the flooding, or the earthquakes, or the fires, or COVID, or name the news cycle. It's just constant. It's like a constant barrage of like bullshit. And you have to insulate yourself from it a little bit and try not to get too. Hey, thanks, King Smith. Yeah, my head's real shiny. I polished it. Talk about misery, right? But yeah, so there is someone, and so I try to keep that out of here. But fuck, I just be nice to be normal for a little bit. But yeah, so the highlights of the show. If you have some VSO questions or VA questions, get with the VSO. Get with the. If nothing else, if you have nowhere to start, no baseline, go to your local Legion or VFW and just go in and talk to someone and be like, hey, I am Sergeant Radar. Don't say Sergeant Radar because they wouldn't know who the fuck that is, but I am so-and-so, and I got out of the military whenever you got out, and I'm trying to get help with the VA. Do you know who I can talk to? And the VFW and the Legion and the Disabled American Veterans, and there's a whole myriad of organizations, veteran organizations that have veteran service officers who are accredited that can help point you in the right direction. And that's all you have to do is just walk into one of those places and say, I need help with the VA. And they will get you started. Or do a congressional and piss everyone off. Yeah, you can do that. You can just call your congressman. Actually, do you think, I don't even know that they'd answer you anymore. I really don't. I don't even, they're so fucking, and it doesn't matter if they're DRR, they're so crazy right now that they have so much other shit going on that they probably won't even they probably don't even care if there's a fucking service member that has problems anymore. They probably don't. Maybe one of their staffers does. I don't fucking know. But easy way, just go to your local VFW or Legion Hall. There's one in just about every town in this country. And you walk in and say, hey, I need help. And somebody will help you. Or if they can't help you, they will point you in the right direction. Okay? If you are in South Dakota, I know the county courthouse has VSOs. Every county courthouse in the state has a VSO. And that's the case in most states have government-paid veteran service officers that will help you with your claim and get it started or get you seen with the VA. They have time frames. They're supposed to. Alicia, they're supposed to. Congress, your congressional leadership and congressional people are supposed to have lots of things that they just don't seem to care about anymore. I don't know. I've lost so much faith in our elected officials, in all of them. It's tough. I hope it works, but they're all fucking crazy. Anyway, so you have been listening to me, Radar, right here at the Smoke Pit. I'm here every Wednesday. I'm here most Wednesdays. I had to take last week off for some work obligations. Same with tonight. TZ is out with some work obligations, last minute work obligations, so she's not here tonight, but she'll be here next week, hopefully. Tomorrow night is Sergeant's time. It's Ice and Spanky talking about all things National Guard, Reserve, Active Duty, sergeanting. They'll be sergeanting tomorrow. And hopefully there'll be, I had a congressional staffer over a fire before. What? About what? I want to know now. Actually, don't. Tell me next week. So they will be sergeanting and doing stuff. Friday, Saturday are Dawn's days of no Spanky activities. She'll be off, we'll be off, hanging out with our families, doing all kinds of stuff. I actually be at work. It's gonna be Final Four this weekend. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, so we're doing that. Let's see. Speaking of Final Four, Saturday night is Sports Bar with actual King Smith and Coach. They will be talking sports thing. I imagine they'll be talking about Final Four NCAA championship stuff. There's some baseball news, some football news, some big trades in the NFL that have been happening. So it's going to be, it should be an interesting show for them. Lots of cannon fodder for them to talk about. And then Monday night is the Monday edition. It's so aptly named because it is the edition that happens every Monday. Ice and Massey will be there talking about some current event stuff, just shooting the shit. It's a good beginning of the week show. And then Sunday. I said Sunday night, didn't I? Or did I say Saturday? Sunday night is Sports Bar. Monday is the Monday edition. Then Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and his harem or co-host. And it's their 200th. We talked about that earlier. Yeah, Saturday night is weekend co-ops. But are they doing that? I thought they only do that every other Saturday. And they do that every other Saturday. I was told it was every other Saturday. Anyway. Kingsman's in the chat. He set me up. He's smarter than I am. He's better at this job than I am. Tuesday, Pop Culture Warrior with CQ. They are having their 200 show. It's going to be some surprises, some fun stuff. Tune in. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some kind of giveaways, if there's some stuff going on for that kind of stuff. And then coming back to us on Wednesday, Pop Culture or with the Smoke Pit. Oops, I might be going. I could be wrong. I'll shut up a color. I could be wrong too. They might be doing it every Saturday now. I don't know. I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said one way or the other. Spanky's here. She might know. Spanky, do they do co-ops every weekend, or is that just every other Saturday, or is that every weekend? You a crown eater? Hold on. Like that kind of crayon? Because, yeah, I did that. Anyway. So, yeah. I am just weird, too. I'm all of it. But, yeah, I need confirmation. I'll wait a second, because I feel like Spanky would know if that is, in fact, every weekend. Anyway, next week. We are going to I want to do another hobby night sometime soon, where we all kind of show off our hobbies and whatnot. The last one we did was about a month or so ago. I'm thinking in about a month from now, so probably the first show in March. I want to do another hobby night. So if you have a hobby that you do, something that keeps you busy and occupied and happy, it works your mind and does all the things, right? Whether it be, I build little planes and tanks, and Coach refurbishes tennis shoes, Jordans in particular. And we've had people do woodwork and photography and music and all kinds of stuff. If you guys do any of those things, I want you to send them to me. Okay. At WTFNR_radar on Facebook. And I'll do this again next week. I'll kind of keep putting it out there for everyone to get their little feelers on. Some people write books or short stories or poetry or read or whatever. I want to share that. I want to give you an opportunity to, one, show off your cool things that you do. And two, I want you to help expand the minds of people who don't. Because I think some people don't do enough to, clear their own mind. And I think that that's so important to have some sort of release. Something that's not work or kids or whatever. Something that's everyone can do. And everyone's different. But something that you do. Golf. Some people golf. Ride motorcycles. Ride bicycles. Run. Jog. Walk. Take their dogs. Knit. Crochet. Quilt. Read. Write. Listen to music. Make music. Whatever people do. If you do it and you want to share it with everybody, we'd so appreciate it. So I want to say in about a month, probably the first Wednesday in March, we'll do another World War II research. Exactly. Something like that. It's something that, when you do that kind of stuff, it makes life so much cooler. You can relate to it, and there's something tangible. I just love it. I love that, Alicia. That's so cool. So I don't have my radar page pulled up, but let me pull it up. And then switching to it. Hold on a second. Switching to it. There we go. Copy. Paste. Oh, that's not cool at all. Why is that not my homepage? I should be able to do that. There it is. Send something. Send stuff to this. That's that radar page. Oh, that did not come up right at all. It just came up ID. But click on that. That should take you to WTF-NR radar on Facebook. And you can send stuff to that. Whatever you want us to share. Put it on there. And we will I will put it on. We will collect some of it and we will share it a week or a month from now. When is the first Wednesday in March? We'll do another hobby night. So please share stuff with us. And we'll share it with the world. We'll share, Alicia does I refuse to go back to Facebook. I understand that. I understand that. I do. And I appreciate it. But you don't have to actually get on Facebook. You can just send shit to that and send it on Messenger. Just get on Messenger. Send it to that. And you don't have to actually get on Facebook. You can just get on Messenger. Send it to me. And I will share it. Because if you have some cool, I don't know, did you write a book about it or do anything cool? If you have some cool, I don't know, write a paper on the Battle of Midway or I don't know. The effectiveness of the upgunned 76mm Shermans or something. I don't know. Whatever. It'd be cool. Because I like sharing that stuff with people. And actually, World War II history is kind of in my wheelhouse. So, but anyway, yeah. So that'd be cool if you could share some stuff like that. If you have stuff to share, whether it be, art or not, whatever, share it with people. Anyway, I appreciate everyone for being here tonight. I hope everyone is safe with the weather and safe with the world, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful, wonderful night. And I will plan on seeing everybody next week. I hope everyone comes back. I really do appreciate everyone being here, and I will talk to you next week. Shots.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.